here from Ballong Event Bureau, or in English, Balloon Event Agency here in Norway. And today I'm going to tell you how I add lights to my balloon columns. Now, it's pretty straightforward. This is just a quick video. This is not going to be detailed, just a fast one here. So, what I start with is my frame here, my column pole, whatever it's called. It's an IKEA lamp stand. Now, if you're in the balloon world, we all know and love these IKEA lamps. You can get them Walmart, similar things, but you get whatever your main framework here is. So this time I'm using an IKEA lamp. Now, what else do I need? Well, I can use this just as is, but I don't. I use something else, and I'll explain why in a moment. You're also going to need some tubing of some sort, like PVC or some such thing. And where'd it go? Yeah, there we go. Some tubing. Now this tubing just barely fits right over the top, nice and neat like that. So I get some tubing. You want to find some that just fits just barely over, close in diameter. So that's not a problem. And then you need to get a hold, and this is what I use, is LED lights. I use LED tape. It's called LED tape because, well, it's LED lights in a strip. So here's my tape strip here of LED lights. Now it comes in a roll about 5 meters, 5 yards, roughly, of LED lights. Now you take this. Here's one I've used before. Now you can get these on eBay. I just saw they have a kit like this over at IKEA. In a later video, I will get some of the IKEA lights, test them out, and see how they work. But if you're new to this and you're not good at electronics and kind of figuring out this type of thing, I suggest going with the IKEA kit because it comes pretty ready to go. Power supply, everything else, you just plug the strip straight in and you're ready to go. Easy peasy. So now these LED strips, as you can see here, what they have is you have a length of this tape, and every one of these little squares is an LED light. Now this one is a multicolor, so you can choose colors, you can blend colors to a degree, you can set a timer to fade between colors, blinking, whatever. Pretty handy. Now this tape also has two other things you need to see, which is this one is a waterproof one, or weather, not completely waterproof, but more for outdoor use, water resistant type. And this is important, I'll explain in a moment. But also, as you can see on this strip here, see if you can see that right here, every couple of spots, there's a little line showing a pair of scissors, and you can actually cut right between there and not ruin them, so you can cut it to length that you need. So, and if you really know what you're doing, you can actually add new ends on there and reuse it. Easier said than done, so I don't suggest going there quite yet. So all I did was I take this light. Now I take this. Oh yeah, one more thing I almost forgot. This comes with tape, an adhesive back. You just peel this off, and it's sticky here, and then you can stick it to stuff. Quite handy. Now the adhesive on this one wasn't overly strong, so I used a balloon to help tie that down. But what I did was I took my pole and I took my tape. I started at one end, peeled it off. I'm not going to peel it off this time because I'm saving this for later. I just put it on the pole and I just wrapped it all the way down my pole like this. Wrapped it all the way down. Then I got this. Now the adhesive wasn't being nice and sticking on the ends. So as you see, I'm a balloon guy. I use a Necro balloon on that one. And a 260 tied around on that one just to make sure it stayed put. I then wrapped it all the way down the pole. Now once you have it wrapped, now you don't probably need to use all the poles. You can probably use a little bit less. I just like it a little bit more firm for my own sake. You just take your LED thing. You have to put, oh yeah, the connection part. Again, quick video here. This is the connection part. I'll show you how to connect it in a moment. But connection part down towards the bottom. Slide over the pole. And you slide down, and there you go. You have your pole with your lights. You have a connection point. Just add balloons. Now, I do recommend before you slide this down, is get some tape, some gaffer's tape, for example. And just put a little bit around the top here, or the bottom. I'm doing the top so you can see it. And just enough so you can just barely slide it over. Not a lot. There you go. Okay. It's a little bit harder, rougher to get down. Oh, I have a connection here which it doesn't like, so I'll put it on the bottom next time. But if you put one there, I had this too short, so I added a connector, and it doesn't want to slide through. But you try to get one solid piece if you can. So I would put it on the bottom, but once you have that in there, it's not going to slide around. It's going to hold it pretty steady. In fact, it lifts up the whole base. So it holds really good. But when you're done, you can just pull it up, take it off. Now the reason I do that is I can make these, do a strike, clean up, retrieve this, and then keep reusing this over and over and over and over again until it gets destroyed or they don't want to pay me to come clean up. So it's reusable, and then being reusable like that, I can also reuse the knot lamp over and over and over again. Now you could, in theory, just take a knot lamp, wrap the lights straight onto the knot lamp, and add your balloons. Same difference, not a problem. Just that now it's harder to reuse that for anything but. This way I can just take this anytime I need, pull it out, put it on, saves work, saves effort, saves energy, and reuse it. It's great. Now for the connections. This particular one, and we buy them online, they'll come with some sort of connection that looks something like this. Varies a little bit. And all you do is you got, I don't know if you can see this, you got 4 pins and 4 slots, 4 connection points. If you look on here, there's a little tiny arrow. If you look on here, there's an arrow. And just take the arrow and you stick it arrow to arrow like that. You slide that on and you're connected. Now this one takes a 12 volt converter or adapter. I forgot what these things are called. Takes one of these, transformer, 12 volt transformer. Plug this in there. Plug it into the wall, turn it on, you're good. Now most of these will come with a remote. They'll either be infrared remote or they will be a Wi-Fi remote. Prices vary, again, infrared, whatever. This particular remote does not go with this directly, but it actually works enough to make it work, so I'm happy. But with the remote, with the multicolored one, you can change colors, you can set one single color, you can set it to blink, to fade in and out, fade speeds, all that good stuff. Really fun. Not sure if you can do that on the IKEA ones, but again, I'll do an update later when I play with those. So let's take a look at how this looks. See if I did this right. So we take this, so slide it down. The reason that you put the connection point at the bottom, because you don't want to have a long cord coming up in between your balloons. You can put it there. Okay. Okay. Found my cord. I plugged it in, turned it on. There you go. Some lights. Now you just add your balloons and go. Now, one last note on this is you need to get the water resistant one, or at least the clear coated ones, because there's a difference. There's some regular standard non-waterproof issue ones, which is on this one. This was my first test ever. And I discovered that this one pops the balloons. Now why is that? We'll take a look. Get close enough here. You can see this. This is kind of hard to see here, but this is coated in plastic all the way down, covering the lights. And you see the little square lights, and they're smooth. It's kind of smooth. Now, this is one that doesn't have that plastic coating. I don't know if you can see this. And if you see right here from the side, it's sticking up, and there's little sharp little corners. Go crazy at popping balloons. It's really sharp. It's a pain in the butt to deal with. So always get the ones that are coated and smooth and not sticking up, no sharp edges. Now, when you do this, it is a little bit harder to add the balloons. It's harder to pack them down. You want a size smaller than you would usually. You need a little bit more play so you can really squish them together and get them in to get them tight. One more thing before I forget. When you do your connection point here, this particular connection is not a super strong one, so you might want to wrap it with a little bit of tape as well, just so it doesn't get kicked, knocked off, and ripped apart. Other than that, that's all you need to know.